Hello, my YouTube friends. Thanks for joining in tonight. Oh man, I'm so pumped up. Oh yeah, it's a Sunday evening, and I wasn't even gonna get on tonight, but I said, you know what, man? I made it in from the beach. It was such a lovely day yesterday down there. It was beautiful. I felt like I was in the Keys or something. The water was just completely aqua blue. It was absolutely stunning down there. And I got down to my place, and everything needed to be washed and cleaned. So I spent most of my time cleaning up everything, only to come back home and get things washing and things like that, and clean everything up. All the bed sheets and everything need to be washed. So I said, man, why not get on here and do a show tonight with you guys and hang out with you, man? If you haven't hit that subscribe button right down there, hit that subscribe button and slam that bell out of the park, because we got a lot of great things going on here at our Trip Studio Audio Master. Yeah, man. One is the Audio Master t-shirts that are going to be coming out Tuesday or Wednesday, and I can't wait to get on that and issue some of those puppies out to some of my good subscribers that have been with me since 2012. Thank you so much for all your support, for hanging out with me and supporting me along this journey, along this ride, giving you guys some great information on recording, mixing, hanging out in the studio with your friends, doing things that you love that you've always wanted to do anyway. That's why you've got all that expensive gear in your studios, because you love recording, and you want to record some either other people's music or you want to record your own stuff. Either way, it's all good, man. It's all about getting in the studio and recording. So tonight I wanted to talk about one very essential thing, and that is what makes you a better recording engineer, and how can you become a better recording engineer is the question. So I will let you in on how to become a better recording engineer, man. Here's the thing. If you're doing something wrong, you don't want to be practicing the wrong thing over and over. It's kind of like playing your scales on the guitar. If you're playing them wrong, that's not good. Or if your hand's in the wrong position, that's not good, because you could be practicing wrong. Man, I tell you what, it happens to most of us because we get in the studio and the first thing we start doing is turning knobs. After we lay down some really cool tracks, we start twisting that EQ. I don't know what it is about EQ, but everybody seems to go to the EQ. They figure if they can just EQ things, then they're just gonna their whole world is gonna be fixed. Even though it sounds different, it doesn't make it better. Oh my gosh, here we go, man. So tonight I want to share some sweet little things with you just to keep in mind as to becoming a better recording engineer. And that is, do your homework and study, and actually watch a few of the pros at what they do. And if you have a good mentor that's actually producing some good records, or actually putting out something that's great, of course, that's who you actually want to hang out with, because you're only going to learn things from these guys, and you're going to learn how they go about doing things, and it's only going to help you get better. But if you don't have that, possibility of that happening for you, and you're learning on your own, the number one thing that I can say that's going to help you become a better engineer is actually use your ears, learn to use your ears, and use the reference tracks. Reference tracks as to compare to your own tracks. And then start studying um, these reference tracks to actually get your mix as close as you can to the reference tracks. You might be thinking, well, how in the heck do I go about doing that? I don't know anything about compressors. I don't know anything about really about EQ. I don't know anything about really anything. I'm just starting out. So that's why it's really good to watch some other videos and some other technical stuff, and then read, and then use your ears a lot. And then here's the thing. whatever you practice, you want to make sure that you're practicing in the right habits and not in the wrong habits. And I've seen it too many times where people get in the studio and they'll do some tracks. The first thing they want to do is just go to the EQ, and they feel like that they can fix anything with EQ. And I'm sorry, my friend, it doesn't start there. If you really want to fix things before they even get to the board or listening back to them, it's actually learn mic placement and different mic techniques. This is going to help you a lot better as making better choices, is learning where to put the microphone on the instrument when you go to miking it. It's going to it's going to save you tons of time later on trying to fix it later on if you just learn to use your ears and don't get in such a hurry and laying down those tracks. I know it happens to many of us where we might have someone come in and we mic a guitar. Well, the first thing we do is we put the mic on the guitar and we say, okay, let's hit record and play. And really, that's not the way to do it. To get the best out of sound out of that guitar, what you want to do is you want to have the guitarist be playing and you be listening to him through your headphones and actually place that microphone where you might think it's going to sound good, maybe aiming at the 12th fret, or maybe one at the 12th fret and one at the sound hole backed up a little bit, or one on at a 45-degree angle on the body of the guitar, and then one on the neck at the 12th fret. Whatever it is, you want to be listening and hearing what that microphone is doing and how it's picking up that instrument. And then once it might be just a little subtle move, man. It might just be an inch back or a little bit more of an angle at the guitar. But however it is, you're going to hear that sweet spot. As long as your musician's staying in the same spot and you got him set up, or he's sitting down or whatever, and he's standing in the same spot and he's not moving around. Here's the thing: the slightest little movement of that microphone is going to make tons of difference, and you're going to hear it through your headphones. And so here's the thing: there's always a sweet spot, and you're going to hear that sweet spot once you have that microphone placed in that right position. It may take a take or two, but either way, don't get carried away with sticking the microphones up there on the guitar and hitting the green light and saying go with it, because that's you're kind of defeating the purpose of having to fix things later on. If you get it right in the mix going in, there's so much less work to do after the fact, and it's going to sound so much better. So just take your time. Take your time with laying down those bed tracks and get those bed tracks sounding really, really good. And this is going to help you out really quick as to becoming a better recording engineer, because you're paying attention. And I think that's a big thing, is there's so many people that get in a hurry, which is not good. Start doing the same practices, continue doing the same old thing. How they go about recording, tracking, mixing, and everything. Practicing wrong is another bad thing. This is going to help you if you continue to use your ears in the beginning. Then you're going to learn how to listen better in the beginning, and it's also going to help you be a better listener in the middle stages of the tracking. So you're going to be a better listener when you're tracking. You're going to be a better listener when you're listening back to your mix as a whole. And you're going to be a better listener as to listening to your reference tracks and then getting your tracks as close as you can to those reference tracks. So this is going to help you become a better engineer, a well-rounded engineer by doing so. So it's really not that hard. It's just paying attention. And that's key. I think paying attention, isn't it? Isn't that what it really is with everything? And whether we're playing sports or whatever we're into, it's about paying attention. And so, just as an engine, to be a good engineer, you have to pay attention, and you have to be a really, really, really good listener. Okay, I know when I say this, it might kind of go past some of you, as to, and you might be saying, "I do listen. I listen all the time, man." But no, I mean actually taking it a step further and paying attention to detail with everything. And the better you are a listener and paying attention to those details of every step of the process, the more rounded and better engineer you're going to be. Okay, so it's kind of simple, but it's hard at the same time. But I want you guys to pay attention to what you're listening to and how you're listening to those tracks. Okay, but it all starts with the microphone and the mic placement on the instrument. So do that. This is going to help you out tremendously, tremendously, tremendously. Um, so it took me a while to actually figure this out. I had the knowledge as far as what they were doing, these top notch engineers were doing, but I don't think it came until many years later, actually, me being a better listener. And, I have to say I'm guilty of that. And so I want to teach you guys, or at least throw this out there for something you can chew on, and not just say, well, I listen, but I want you to really try to start listening, um, and take your time until you can get a better idea of how mic placement goes and what microphones you like to use on specific instruments and whatnot. But until you learn that, then you're kind of just thumbing around in the dark, kind of like a ship without a sail. You're just out there being tossed about. So once you learn some key microphones as to how and what they sound good on what instruments, this is going to speed up your tracking time already. But don't be afraid to have the guy come in, because each day is going to be different and every instrument's going to sound different on those microphones. So let's just say I have a guy come in today and I set him down. Typically I like to set him down and then mic him with two microphones, sometimes three, two on the guitar, and then one is a room mic a little further back. But either way, I'm listening to as a whole how his guitar and how he sounds in the mix. And so, or just let's just say he's laying down the bed track. Let's just say he's just playing to a click track. I'm listening to that guitar, man. I'm listening to how it sounds. And then if it sounds good and you say, oh, it sounds good, you might want to put a little spot, a little X on that spot or whatever before you move that mic back. But to try, just go ahead and try some other areas. It might be maybe that's close to the sweet spot, but it's not, hammer on the head. And so it might just be an inch further back that makes it perfect. So don't be afraid to take some time with your tracking and get those bed tracks down really, really good. And you'll know when you hit that sweet spot, it's gonna sound punchy, it's gonna sound real clear, it's gonna sound loud, it's gonna sound sweet. I mean, that's just the best way I can describe it. It's gonna be all of those things. And you're gonna know you're there when you get there. So just take your time on those bed tracks, man. And this is gonna help you be a better recording engineer all around, being a better listener. I'm hoping this helped you out tonight, man. I wanted to kind of keep it short and sweet. Like I say, I had a wonderful weekend down at the beach, and I figured, like I say, once I got back and started throwing some laundry in the thing, I wanted to share some information that I was just thinking about sharing with you guys as to how to become a better recording engineer. A lot of us are kind of like I say, just stumbling around and not having a target to shoot for. And then when we do have a target to shoot for, we kind of forget about the most important key element of all, and that is using our ears and paying attention to detail. And the best recording engineers out there pay so much attention to detail. It's insane how much detail they put into the simplest things. It may be how much detail they put into a guitar or rhythm guitar track, or, well, really everything, every track they're listening to and putting tons of detail into that to get the best out of that track so that they can have a Grammy award winning song, and they do. And so these engineers got there in the position that they're in by being the best listeners out of anyone that I know. So these engineers Um, they had to be great listeners to sit in the chairs that they sit in and get paid for what they, get the money they get paid for. They're worth it. And they put in the time, and it doesn't come overnight. And so, a lot of them had mentors that sat underneath someone else that kind of, you know, pushed them along and got them where they're at a little faster. And those of us who have to, do a lot of research, a lot of reading, a lot of studying, a lot of time, and put in the hours. Either way, become a better listener. It's going to help you become a better recording engineer all around. I hope this helped you out, guys. I know it helped me out tremendously. Give me a thumbs up down there, man, and rock that button, rock that bell. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel because we got our Audio Master t-shirts coming out. Whoa, man, I am so pumped up about them. I cannot wait to start giving some of them out, and then we're going to do drawings on the rest. And then I might even do some where if you want to just go ahead and purchase one, you're going to be able to purchase the Audio Master t-shirts. If you record, if you play music, if you love recording and whatnot, you're going to want to love to have one of these shirts, man. They just completely rock. And everybody that I've been showing them to just loves them. And so, anyway, man, thank you guys for supporting my show. I appreciate each and every one of you that get on the Audio Master show, and all your likes, all your comments. Keep them coming in. As you know, I always get back to all of you as quick as I can. I get a notification whenever you write in or private message me, either way. Also, I wanted to let you in on the Shure SM7B microphone giveaway. Um, Hopefully my go-to guy will come by next week and I can give it away, have him give it away. If not, we're going to find another option to do so. I sure hope he can find the time to come by because I delegated it all to him. And so I would hate to step over those boundaries and do it myself. But here's the thing, man. A lot of us have been waiting on the Shure SM7B microphone giveaway. And I'm certain that my guy's going to come through. He always does. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining in. How's your weekend going? I hope you guys are having a great weekend. And I just want to tell you to get in that studio, man. And I encourage you to get in your studio, especially if you haven't been playing your guitar or your piano or whatever. Get in the studio, get fired up, man, because I just feel like we're heading into a new era as far as the way the music industry is going to be. It's going to be neat, man, to see what happens with all this. And also, I did want to mention to you, a lot of people are kind of on loose ground right now, and they're uncertain of everything. There's so much uncertainty, right? But I did want to say that if you're in the market for buying recording gear, you can go to some of these Facebook pages and these groups, whether it's vintage audio or vintage audio recording or whatever, and all these other groups. And there's tons and tons and tons of vintage recording studio gear that's being sold right now, man. So if you're a buyer and have a little spare change, now is the time to be buying some of this vintage gear because it may not come up again. Um, I know that it's a lot of it's out there, and it seems like every time I look at my Facebook, I'm seeing some type of new gear or old gear that's being sold. So it may be a time for you where you can afford it and get some of this great gear. I'm talking about everything from reel to reel machines, 2 amp, 2 inch tape, 1 inch tape, quarter-inch tape, um, Studer machines, all kind of stuff, preamps, microphone preamps, stuff I've never even seen before, man. That's popping up for for sale, and so a lot of people are in buying right now, and they're getting rid of their gear. So, like I say, if you're a buyer, now is the time to buy something and put in your studio. And one of these group sites maybe something that you want to check out. Also, I wanted to tell you guys, if you don't know, I have a Audio Master Facebook page now that I'm starting up. You don't want to miss out, man, because I've got a lot of people who are watching in on this page who sit in bigger and taller chairs than what most of us do. And they're going to be checking out my Facebook page. It's called Audio Master. It's really easy. It's just like my channel. Friend me on that page, man. Get involved with this. And it's also a page that you can post your music that you're actually playing or recording and whatever. So record some songs. It doesn't matter what genre you're in. You're in jazz, you're in funk, you're in R&B, whatever style of music you're in. It doesn't matter. There are some rules to the Facebook thing, and that is, the very basic rules. Let's be kind. Don't say anything rude or crude to anybody or make any comments or anything like that. And anyway, we will friend you. We will get you in. You can post your music here on Audio Master and get your music heard, man. People, like I say, are going to be people from all over are actually going to be checking this page out. And it's something I should have done a long time ago, but I didn't. And a friend of mine actually encouraged me to do so. And so that was the first thing I did after my show the other night was I created a Facebook page for all you guys out there who are musicians and engineers to participate in, man. So, wow, it's great, man. Why not? Right? Why not? You never know who's watching, and so and who's paying attention and who's listening. It all goes back to who's listening, right? So that's what, and we want to be better listeners ourselves. So, man, join my Facebook page, look me up, Audio Master, and subscribe and to the channel here, and let's get connected there. And it's a place you can start posting your music or different ideas or your thoughts on recording or how to become a better engineer. It's just a great way for us all to link together and be linked as to sharing music and ideas, techniques, and all that other cool stuff that goes with recording and playing music, right? Man, I love it, man. I love that I finally got this Facebook page going. And if it wasn't for a friend of mine on the YouTube channel, I wouldn't have never thought about it. I mean, I thought about it at times, but I just never did it. And so he inspired me to do so, and I did. And so it's great. Yeah, look me up on Facebook, Audio Master, and hit that like and all that other good stuff, man, and join in and send some of your tracks to it, man. Yeah, I'd love to hear some of your music, and I'm sure everyone else will too. And so it's a really cool thing to have you guys join in. Oh man, I'm so pumped up, man. I almost didn't want to come back home from the beach. I probably would have stayed there because the water was just so pretty, man. And but like I say, when I got there, it's been since, let's see, when's the last time I've been down there? Let's see, I want to say 3 or 4 months ago. So everything was locked up and shut up for that long. And you know how it is when you go into a place that's been shut up for that long. It has that mildewy smell to it, and all the dishes and everything needs to be clean, man. So like I say, I spent most of my time cleaning um, there and getting all that mildew off everything and tearing down the bed and brought all that stuff back here to wash and whatnot. So I came back early. So otherwise, I would have stayed another night, man, and then came back, rolled in tomorrow. I didn't have any obligations for this week, and so it was a perfect time for me to stay down there. However, I'll probably stay here in my place here. I'll probably stay here tonight, tomorrow night, and then maybe drive back to the beach Thursday night and enjoy from Thursday night through the weekend. I don't know. It's just something I've been wanting to do and hang my hat down there a little bit and have some me time down there. And but anyway, take some of these techniques I was talking about tonight, guys, and go in your studio, man, and practice on being a better listener. And this is going to help you out. And start out with your microphones on your instruments, and that is key. Is mic placement, and it may not be the most expensive microphone. Maybe you only have one microphone, but I'm telling you, even if you only have one microphone, the 58 or the 57, sure, or condenser. Um, get to where you can move that microphone around on that instrument in different places and make small adjustments, and then have your guitarist be playing, like I say, and just move just a subtle, and you're going to find a sweet spot. The microphone's going to hear the sweet spot by moving it around really slow, and actually getting different angles and whatnot on there. And then when you hear that sweet spot, go ahead and lay down a track and see what you think, man. I think this is going to help you out tremendously, man. So sometimes it's not so much the microphone, it is mic placement. And I think you guys are going to learn that real quick. And part of that is using your ears, man. And so you don't have to have the most expensive gear in the world. You just have to know your gear and know how it works, and to be able to use it in your advantage instead of your disadvantage. So that's really key. And I want to reiterate how that really is key as far as mic placement. This is going to help you out tons. Don't go to that EQ on everything. Don't just start EQing things. Okay. What we want to do is we want to get you using your ears and listening for mic placement. And that's going to be your EQ. Trust me. And you're going to love it. It's going to sound great for you guys, man. So how are you doing this weekend? Have y'all been having a good weekend? It is Sunday, and this today has flown by. Today has gone by really, really fast for me. I don't know about you guys. Of course, I did spend an hour on the road coming back home from the beach, but today is flying by. It's 6:34 here, Texas time. And I typically come on at 7:30, 8 o'clock. And like I say, I got in and threw some clothes in the washer and thought, well, man, I'll just go ahead and get on here and share a few little tips that I was thinking about over the weekend, how you can become a better recording engineer and save you some time, man. And so that you don't go down that folly of making the same mistakes that I did, as far as not really listening and being a good listener. And that's going to help you out tremendously on tracking, mixing, mastering, and the whole 9 yards, man. And so, yeah, man, I wanted to share that with you because it's easy to get into practicing the same bad habits. So, what we want to do is we want to get out of practicing those bad habits and start practicing some good habits. And those good habits are key as listening, being a good listener in the recording and while you're doing your tracking and mixing and all that other good stuff. So yeah, man, uh, that is something I just wanted to share with you guys tonight, and I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. As always, it is a really good show to be a part of because I'm always giving great little snippets and bits to you guys as to being a better engineer out there. And I hope this helps you out tremendously. I know it helped me out tremendously. But if you haven't hit that subscribe button, man, hit that subscribe button and slam that bell out of the park, man, and join along for the ride because we got some cool stuff going on here. And you don't want to miss out, man. You don't want to miss out on the Shure SM7B microphone giveaway, and you don't want to miss out on the Audio Master t-shirts. So thank you so much for joining in, and we will see you again.